What is going on? This is J.Ellis from Nick of Time Show. Here to give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And man, I hate when we do an episode and the very next day all the important news just comes spewing out. It's just like, oh man, we missed a lot. We missed D-Lo trade rumors, Kuz trade rumors, Steve Mills fired. All that happened within like a day of us recording. But it's fine. We're back. We're back to talk Knicks. And the crew's back too. And my girl,
hey,
Miss Black Girl Magic herself,
K-Steel,
is here to join us today. Welcome back.
After the dust is settled.
Yeah, after the dust is settled. Lord, there's a lot of dust today, man. Can't wait to get into it. And to my left is the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G in the building.
Yeah, man. Oh, and I have a surprise for y'all guys today. Y'all thought it was a regular KOT show day, but no, it's not. It's not regular at all. Today, we have a special guest. He joined me and CP, actually, on the old post-game live show, who's a really, really good guest, really informative. NBC Analyst, Forbes writer, and also I jack a lot of his stats for our episodes. If you know him as a stat man, if you follow him on Twitter, you know he's a stat man. Our guy Tommy Beer is here to join us today. What's going on, Tommy?
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thanks for having me. Much appreciated.
Man, I'm so glad you're here today to shed some light into all the Knicks chaos that's been happening, man. It's just like, oh, I need the analyst mind. I need experts. I know Ryan is an expert, but I need you. I need you today.
I wish I was an expert.
All right, so let's just get back right into it. So most people know, like, the Knicks problems are largely because, we don't have a shooting point guard. And there was rumors going around that the Knicks had a deal in place for D'Angelo Russell. And including, Frank Ntilikina and Bobby Portis. We all know that the Knicks didn't really land that deal. So I just want to get your thoughts on how do you feel about the Knicks missing out on D'Angelo Russell?
Yeah, I'm not overly concerned about it. I think there were certainly some pros to the D'Angelo Russell. You can make a case that adding him would certainly make sense, considering the fact that that point guard has been a position of need in New York for decades now. But and he was certainly a talented offensive player. But when you consider, both ends of the ball, he's a negative defender, subpar defender. So,
yes.
When you're trading for a player and that's owed $90 million over the next 3 seasons, that's you have to make a commitment. If he really moves the needle, if he's a superstar player, then I think it makes sense. If not, the Knicks would have likely had to given up, first round draft picks, et cetera, in addition to the deal. So I think steering clear of D'Angelo Russell made sense in the long run.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like $90 million is a little bit too much. I actually was on the fence about it for a while, but then I kind of thought about the structure of the team. Yeah. And it's just like, it just seems like a move like that is too early to make a move like that, and especially for a guy who still has a lot to prove. Like you said, he's a negative defender. He doesn't really can't really finish well. Only shoots 43% from the field. He's not like a world beater really. He's more talented than any guard we have right now. But there's still holes. Go ahead.
Yeah, no question. And the other thing is the fact that the Knicks obviously, and we'll discuss about the Leon Rose situation. The Knicks are kind of, don't have certainty at their, front office positions, president of basketball operations, et cetera. So ideally, you want somebody coming in. They may have thought D'Angelo Russell at $90 million was a steal, and they would have been all for it. But there could have been other, whatever GM they hire, thought that was a terrible waste of money and didn't want it. So the best case scenario is, I think, doing what they did, trading a veteran and Marcus Morris for a future first-round pick. This way, it's kind of a blank canvas. Let that new GM, let that new president come in and kind of do what they want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to add something to that, Ryan? You sound like you want to jump in.
No, the only question I would have is related to the Marcus Morris trade. Do you think the Knicks could have got a bit more from Marcus Morris from the Clippers, or do you think that was just a pretty good trade in general?
Yeah, I think they maxed out what they could have gotten. Obviously they wanted to kind of pit the Lakers against the Celtics, and there was a quote unquote arms race going on. But I think to to Scott Perry's credit, getting a first-round pick. And also, let's not devalue the second-round pick. It's a 2021 second-rounder that belongs to – it's going to be through Detroit. And the Pistons, obviously, as we know, traded Andre Drummond, will likely be in a rebuild next season. So that could be a pick in the early 30s. As we know, Mitch Robinson was 36th overall. There's plenty of talented players you can get in that early 30s. So, I think it made a lot of sense. Marcus Morris obviously was playing well for New York, but the ability for him to maybe win a couple more games the rest of the season
didn't matter.
I think in the grand scheme of things, the first round pick is more valuable. So I like that trade from the Knicks' perspective.
Okay.
I see. I didn't calm down. Y'all was all mad. I feel like Knicks fans was like, we should have got more. I feel like we did okay, man. Like that. Like we got. Listen, if you would have told me, I know Kathy. Okay, I'm giving you a disclaimer because you're not here, Tommy. You're not here. Kathy is fuming right now that Marcus Morris is gone and she's biting her tongue with all of her might. All right. So I'm sorry, Kathy. Mark, he's gone. I'm sorry. You just gotta get over it. I'm sorry.
We prepared for this. The Marcus Morris bandwagon, we prepared ourselves to see him go. So
yeah,
we're okay. We're managing. He's gonna win with the Clippers. We're excited for him, and I wish him the best. Once a Knick, always a Knick.
Yeah, once a Knick. Goodbye, Marcus Morris. You done well for us. I love what you did for the Knicks. You're probably my favorite signing so far.
Yeah.
If there's a but after this, then you can just stop.
No, there's no but.
Okay.
That's my God. I mean, he didn't fit in the grand scheme of things.
Then that's your but. You can stop.
That's not about to be my but. Whatever.
Continue.
The other thing to remember, though, is that he's going to be a free agent this summer, so I wouldn't be shocked if he re-ups with New York again. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent, so there's a possibility that he comes back to the city that has embraced him.
Boom!
But is it a possibility? Is it a strong possibility?
Yes.
I'd say strong might be a little much.
Yep.
It's all going to depend on how much the Knicks want to pay him.
That's true.
That's the situation, because if the Knicks are willing to give him a multi-year deal, that's kind of, because all teams in the NBA want to kind of keep their cap space clean for the summer 2021. That's when Giannis and Kawhi and Paul George and everybody, a ton of superstars hit the free agent market. A lot of teams want to keep as much cap space off the books as possible. So it'll be interesting. I'll be fascinated to see what the Knicks would certainly. I'm sure they pay him $20 million just for 1 year. But the question is, do you give him 30 over 3 years or something along those lines? That's where it'll be interesting.
I'll give him 3 years, team option, third year. I'll do that.
Thank you.
The main issue that the Knicks will face they will face is whether they would want that, let's say it's $15 million in cap space or $12 million in cap space that they're going to pay him, not next season, but the season after. They want that money on their books.
Right, for the
that'll prevent them from. Right, exactly. Then they may be only to offer one max level free agent instead of two, and you want to have that two slots open. Even though it didn't work out last time, as we know, that's the reason they traded Courtney Lee and Tim Hardaway Jr.
You're right.
Porzingis to keep. So we'll see, but it'll be interesting. That's I guess a topic for another time.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. There is that big free agency class that kind of everybody has to kind of plan for. So I agree. So
exactly.
I forgot about that. So yeah, a multi-year contract might not be in the works just because the way the Knicks seem like they're big game hunting right now. We'll get into the Leon thing in a second. It seems like they're trying to set up for later to attract that big free agent. Yeah. Maybe Marcus Morris might not be the one there. Trying to go after, but I you know what, there's like an interesting wrinkle about that trade that I want to actually talk about, and it's the there was a proposed trade. Did you see this, Tommy, where there were two young players that supposedly the Clippers actually brought to the table? They said they wanted to trade. I don't want to mess this guy's names up. Mufundo Kabingale.
Oh yeah.
That's the power forward center from Florida State that they drafted at the end of the first round.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, him.
Yep.
And Terrence Mann. And I'm reading this. I was very excited that the trade was about to go through. I'm like, this is it. We get Marcus Morris. We get a first. We get these two prospects. And then it seems like the Knicks. To me, it read like the Knicks didn't want them, but they wanted the picks and the stash player. Is that how you read it, or is that just me?
Yeah, no. That was definitely out there. I don't know if it's ever been verified or confirmed. I had always heard that it was just that it was basically the Maurice Harkless expiring contract and the first rounder that they were kind of putting on the table.
Right.
And then Cabangeli and Mann were the other two players that kind of right before the deadline there was a rumor that those two guys were in the mix. I probably would have preferred to get Cabangeli and Mann.
Yeah.
As opposed to the future first. Just because there's a little more certainty.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, again, I think it's one of those things where, having, that cap flexibility and also if another, superstar player kind of demanded a trade, having those future first round picks in your pocket can definitely be beneficial,
Yeah, because you can package them for something else. And I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
But I guess you know what it was too? I had a theory, and my theory was, okay, so we know how Steve Mills was canned, right? Steve Mills was canned like 2 days before the trade deadline, which is like so Nick-like, right? To do something so important when you have a deadline 2 days. So to me, that's kind of like when you have a report due in 2 days and you're just cramming. So in my mind, I feel like the Knicks would have made that trade if they had all their ducks in a row and had deals in place for someone like DSJ to go for a pick or Portis for a pick, to kind of clear that roster spot. I feel like we didn't have the roster spots to take on those two players.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they could have bought out a guy like Wayne Ellington or something along those lines. But yeah, that's a valid point. It would have kind of put the roster in a little bit of flux. That's the other benefit of taking a future first round pick is you maintain roster flexibility.
Exactly. And then even them having the Yusef, and I'm saying his name right? You saying his right?
The Ukrainian point guard?
Yes, the Ukrainian point guard. Yes, I'm gonna say the Ukrainian point guard.
Yes,
that's why it benefits to have him overseas. I would think
exactly. Stash those guys. And the other thing is that with the roster spots, I'm sure they want to get a look at Kenny Wooten over the final couple months of the season. So this increases the chances of that happening.
That's true. Even though they didn't seem like they was too interested in bringing him up, according to Mike Miller, he's kind of talking about not even bringing him up that much, just kind of having him develop.
Yeah, I think that, they're on a 4-game winning streak. People are kind of thinking, hey, can they make a run at the 8th seed? I think once, the final month of the season when those dreams are kind of dashed, I think you'll see him play the kid.
Optimistic, I see.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, Tommy, what you're saying is, Tommy, you do not believe in the 4-game winning streak is going to be the turnaround for the season. And then we're going to make the playoffs and Mike Miller will be kept for next year. That's what you're telling me.
I would say it's kind of unlikely. Listen, I hope it does. It'd be great for business. Knicks fans certainly deserve some excitement.
Yes, we do.
But yes, I think it's certainly unlikely. But hey, listen, they riding a 4-game win streak, got a couple winnable games before the break, Atlanta and Washington. So yeah, they could definitely make it interesting if they enter the All-Star break on a 6-game win streak. Within maybe four games, let's say, of that 8th seed. It could be interesting, but certainly a long shot at this point.
All right,
cool. Tommy, I do have a question. This is kind of forecasting right now, but seeing how it seems like Leon Rose is going to become the president of basketball operations for the Knicks, do you see Steve Perry or Mike Miller possibly keeping their jobs?
Yeah, I think it's kind of difficult, obviously, to kind of project going forward because even if Leon Rose takes over, we don't know who he's going to hire as a GM. I think if he does, hold on to Scott Perry in that general manager role, which is probably a long shot, even though those two do have a relationship.
Yeah.
Usually a president of basketball operations wants to come in and kind of put his own stamp on things and get his own people in the mix. So my guess would be that it's probably unlikely that Perry is the general manager, but I could definitely see him being an assistant GM or head scout or within the franchise in some way, shape, or form. And I think Miller is going to have these next 40 games or so to kind of prove himself. He's obviously done a solid job thus far. But again, a new GM, if a new GM comes in, they're probably going to want their own head coach, et cetera. So I'd say it's unlikely that both guys are back, but I certainly wouldn't rule it out.
All right.
So why do you feel like I know. I feel like I know the reason why. But why do you feel like Dolan went on and kind of rushed this hiring so quickly, knowing that we have until summer. Scott Perry can hold it down for at least now, and so why did he rush it so quickly? And then B, like why is he not going after? I know Ujiri is a long shot, but why not Sam Presti, who was rumored to be interested in Nick's job?
Yeah, it's a good question. My preference would have been to really take your time and exhaust all possibilities before giving up on the chance of getting a guy like Ujiri, because I think that really could have turned the franchise around if you have a really solid, respectable decision maker. But again, even though we're just hearing about Leon Rose this week, it's safe to assume that that's something that had been in the works for a while. I think when Steve Stout came in, and he kind of started working with the Knicks last summer, at the end of last year, when they were, when they lead up to making pitches, hopefully they were that they didn't make. The hope was that, but I think Steve Stout has kind of got a foothold in the organization, and I certainly wouldn't be surprised if he had he signed off on Leon Rose, and that was something they had been talking about for weeks, if not months. Kind of this candidate they had that. That player agent direction, and then if they went that direction, it certainly makes sense that they went with a creative, CAA guy, just because of the relationship, going back years and decades between the Knicks and CAA has been, a close relationship.
Yeah, didn't he bring on like Andre Bargnani and like Eddie Curry and a lot of people, Knicks fans, aren't too proud.
Yeah, his first client was actually Jalen Brunson, the old Knicks point guard.
Jalen Brunson, I remember that.
Yeah,
say word.
Knicks legend, Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Any chance that, I actually heard that he was and Leon was an agent of Frank Ntilikina. Any chance that he's going to be petty and trade Frank Ntilikina because he left him for another agent?
No, I don't think that's a possibility. I think Frank's going to stick around for at least one more year.
All right. Serious question now. So obviously the Knicks are like big game hunting. So I guess they feel like signing a guy like Leon Rose and bringing on a guy like Worldwide West, who has connections to everybody. No one really knows what Worldwide West does, by the way.
Not at all.
Worldwide just knows everybody.
Just be a boss, man. Make power moves. That's the occupation,
Yeah. I feel like he might be a connector. You know what a connector is?
Yeah.
I feel like he's one of those guys. He's like, hey, I know him. He can help you. You come here. And then people like you because you connect people to other people.
Exactly. 100%.
So do you, like... I know you prefer, the Sam Presti like we do, but I don't know. It seems like a lot of these NBA analysts on television, anyway, they feel like the Knicks are moving in the right direction.
One thing to keep in mind when you hear, and it's been interesting. I think it's been very interesting, the coverage that the Leon Rose signing or the addition to Leon Rose to the franchise, because you got to remember a lot of the writers, a lot of the media personalities. Their lifeblood in terms of breaking news and rumors and is getting information from agents. So they have to maintain positive relationships with agents. So if you notice, nobody's, everything the Knicks do, it tends to get bashed in the media then immediately, LOL Knicks. Can you believe the Knicks are stupid enough to try to hire an agent?
Right.
But there's been really listen, I think it's a good move. Leon Rose is a great guy because remember, Leon Rose obviously has good connections at CAA. A lot of the best players in the league are CAA clients. So you don't want to rub those guys the wrong way. And trust me, these agents hear what writers and personalities and guys are saying. So it didn't surprise me that when Leon Rose was named, was rumored, or it's still not official yet, but it's basically only a matter of time. That a lot of that the kind of I think a lot of Knicks fans were surprised that they were ready to get upset, but then they saw like all these the main beat guys were like, oh, I think it's a good move, and even the national the national folks. So keep in mind that I think that has a lot to do with it.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense now because I'm sitting here thinking Dolan is making the exact same mistake that he's made with Mills, that he's made with Phil Jackson. He's hiring somebody who doesn't have any prior experience, but he has a big name. But
and connections.
Yes, there's a lot of that's a major concern. Like Phil was hired because he was a respected name who had a lot of connections. David Fizdale was hired as coach because he was friends with LeBron and D Wade, and he was going to bring all these guys in. And we've seen how that has turned out. So yes, there's reason for skepticism because I think that many of the folks that are upset about the hire would have preferred somebody with a proven track record. But the fact of the matter is there is a case to be made that there is a reason for optimism with Leon Rose. Again, this guy is a major in terms of player agents. They picked the top of the class. He's a an all NBA agent. A top tier Hall of Fame type talent in terms of the player agency game. And then you bring in World Wide West. There's a case to be made that there's some positivity that can result from this.
Okay, I'll take that. I needed somebody to kind of tell me on the ledge because I've been on the ledge for a week and it just seemed like everybody was just talking fluff, and I was like, I don't understand why everybody's just so positive about this news. I just don't get it. But
it helps me feel a bit better about the hire.
I still don't really. I'm no lie. I still don't feel better about it.
But honestly,
but it helps. You know what it does? It helps with the. It definitely helps the PR statement because Knicks get killed in the news of either good or bad. So if everybody's afraid of Leon, they'll think twice about.
But will they really, knowing that Dolan is still in charge? Like he still owns the Knicks.
I think that's the $1 million question, and and to his credit, Dolan has kind of been more hands off than he had been ever since the Phil hire. But you have to. Leon Rose is going to need autonomy to do the to really put his stamp on things. That's another reason I wanted Ujiri to come because he wouldn't have agreed to come to New York unless he had complete autonomy. So you kind of killed two birds with one stone there. But yeah, listen, the Knicks, for better or for worse, are probably were. Unfortunately, I think Knicks fans wanted them to kind of take a methodical, approach where they do things the right way and, maintain draft picks and cap flexibility and build it, from the ground up.
Like they said.
It just doesn't seem like Dolan's content to do that. And if you're going to swing for the fences, you want a power hitter, and Leon Rose is a power hitter that has a chance to hit a grand slam. Again, he has connections with the top of the top in the league, especially get World Wide West on board. So there's a chance. And again, a lot of people joke that the Knicks are never going to sign another free agent. I find that to not be the case because remember, Anthony Davis, let's talk about the last three, top-tier free agents that switched teams. Anthony Davis, there was two teams, the Lakers and the Knicks. He went to the Lakers. Kevin Durant was rumored forever to come to the Knicks. And that wasn't just smoke. I mean, there was fire there.
I believe
everybody in the game, and I still think if he doesn't pop his Achilles, that he ends up in New York.
We said that on this show, that if he didn't pop his Achilles, he'd be a Knick right now. But people like to clown us.
I'm okay with that, L.
Kathy is the only person in the universe who is not a Kevin Durant fan when healthy. But
I am not.
But you want to keep.
I stand on it.
I know you do. We know. We all know.
Yeah.
It's looking pretty good right now too, especially my man keeping burner accounts.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. I'm sorry. What were you saying, Tom?
Well, at least we.
But yeah, no, I think there's a couple things that gone it's a game of inches, yada yada yada. But if a couple things had gone the right way here or there, I think the Knicks could have landed one of those top tier free agents. So now they put themselves in position again with the cap space, with 7 draft picks in the next 4 years. They're in a somewhat of an enviable position in terms of a rebuild. And it just takes that one player, that one person that's willing to say, okay, I'm ready to, take on the challenge. Because we all know any team, any player, any coach, any executive that ever wins a championship in New York will be treated like a king for the rest of their lives. So, they're
going to be a god. There will be statues of you in front of Madison Square Garden, Times Square, everywhere, man. That's happening. That's definitely happening, man. All right, so
I agree. It may be in my son's lifetime, not mine.
Nah, you gonna make it, Tommy. Nah, man.
Oh man,
you gonna make it, man. All right, you know what? Okay, too. All right, since we still going, let me throw this question out there. All right, so Knicks are on a 4-game. By the time you know what? The game hasn't started yet. But I'm going to be optimistic and say the Knicks are on a 5-game winning streak because by the time this episode comes out,
Yeah.
I'm hoping the Knicks will beat Atlanta. We'll be on a 5-game winning streak. I'm hoping. So
Fingers crossed for us.
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. What are your thoughts on the minute allocation between the veterans and the youth? Some people are kind of upset. You know, Knox is only getting 11 minutes. I mean, now he's getting more minutes. Frank is only be getting 14 minutes.
Yeah, 14, 15.
Yeah. Do you feel like we are going in the right direction as far as the minute allocation? Do you feel like the youngsters should be getting more minutes or no?
Yeah, so it's a good question. And I was definitely on the bandwagon of playing the kids next year. Last year, rather, I thought, give Knox as many minutes as he could handle, and Ntilikina, et cetera. But I got to admit, I am more play the vets than I thought I'd be for a couple of reasons. The one I think it's very important to acknowledge the fact that the flattening of the lottery odds have had a major impact on the way we kind of, the whole idea of tanking has really changed. Because remember, the Knicks won 17 games last season. The Pelicans won 33, and the Grizzlies won 33. And the Pelicans and the Grizzlies had the first and second picks respectively.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas the Knicks and the Hawks, who had worse records, fell to 3 and 4. And there's certainly no reason not to believe. There's again, with the way the lottery odds are skewed, there's just not the same level of assurity you have finishing with the worst record. So I think that plays a part in the process. And the other thing is, at some point in time, these kids have to earn their minutes. And Kevin Knox specifically, I think, it's understandable if you miss shots, if you can't knock down threes, but the lack of intensity on the defensive end is at some point in time as an organization, you cannot accept that.
No.
You cannot reward that type of behavior with additional minutes. So until I see that, I don't have a problem with Elfrid Payton getting more playing time than Dennis Smith, who can go quarters at a time without giving any effort on the defensive end. So listen, and again, we still are we're not even at the All-Star break yet, so we still got 30 plus games on the other side of the All-Star break. If you want to dedicate the last 20 of those, to playing the kids more frequently, I understand that. But I personally, I understand why some do, and I probably want to get a look at Iggy Brad's defense.
You about to take his minutes, take Knox out.
He's playing.
Yeah, take him out.
That's the thing. At some point in time, you have to earn those minutes. So I personally don't have an issue with, Knox getting fewer minutes, and even Ntilikina has. And I love Frank, but he hasn't played that well of late. Alan Hahn made a great point the other day with respect to Ntilikina. Watch what Elfrid Payton does, because Elfrid Payton can't shoot at all. Like anytime you take a three, you assume he's missing. He's a 50% free throw shooter, but that doesn't stop him from aggressively attacking the paint.
Exactly.
Either getting a floater up or creating shots for others by driving and drawing attention, then kicking it out, or little drop-off passes to Taj Gibson or Mitch Robinson, whatever the case might be. So I think that's what Frank needs to do. I will forever defend Frank as a positive contributor on a winning team.
Of course,
because of what he does defensively. But there is definitely, obviously, room for improvement on the offensive end, and that doesn't even necessarily mean just make or miss making shots, which is the way you attack and the way you stay aggressive, even if you're not overly confident in your offensive game, as Elfrid Payton is not. Given the fact that. But Frank, there's definitely something to learn there, and I hopefully he does it over the next couple months.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Frank to me, he has the IQ to me to actually find certain passing angles that other people's can't really find. I just wish he was more aggressive, and there's one thing that Elfrid Payton does a lot and that's probe.
Yes, always. He'll dribble. That Steve Nash thing where you dribble the thing and if it's not there, you circle back and then attack again. Don't give up your dribble.
Right.
But you're right. Yes, continuously challenging the defense, driving into that teeth of defense. Because more often than not, good things are going to happen when you do that.
Exactly, and I feel like Frank has worked on his ball handling enough to start to try to do that. He just needs to get that mindset that I'm going to probe a little bit more for these passing angles since I know I can pass.
Because you notice another thing, and I looked up the numbers last night. The Knicks are actually 10-11 in the 21 games that Elfrid Payton has played at least 27 minutes. So when you look at a team that's got like a 25% win percentage, and it's almost 500, that tells something. But the other thing with Peyton is the other thing you'll notice when Elf is on the floor, kind of since he's been inserting into the starting lineup, you see a lot less of that nonsense Julius Randle dribbling up the floor himself.
Yeah.
You know, you notice that Elfrid Payton's like, nah, I got this.
Yeah, he's assertive.
Let me see it for a minute. You know, exactly. And that's something that Frank needs to be like, yo, Randall, run up the damn floor. I got this.
Exactly. Yeah. Shut up, Randall. Look up. The day that happens.
You know?
Oh, man.
The day that happens is the day I scream and cheer. When he tells Randall no, the day, I don't know if that's going to happen, though.
Yeah.
I don't see that happen. Do you see Randall's biceps? That's not happening. Oh, man. All right.
I do have one more question,
Go
though.
ahead.
Because something has kind of been on irking my nerve as of late, but it's like but it's justified though because of the way he's been playing lately. But like Wayne Ellington, right? Like he's been inserted back into the rotation, and I mean it's hard to argue against his production lately because even last game against the Pistons he performed really well. But I feel like now he's taking minutes away from Dotson, who's been a pretty consistent performer this whole season.
Well, Dotson was sick.
He was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was sick. He was sick the game before this one, and then go ahead.
He was I think he was active for the Pistons game, but you can assume he probably wasn't 100%. It was kind of maybe an emergency they could use him. But I agree with you. I'm one that Dotson should get more minutes because he's a guy that has earned minutes. He plays decisively on the defensive end as well as offense. So I agree. I prefer Dotson to get those Ellington minutes. But again, you're currently riding a 4-game win streak. I think that's the kind of conversation we can have in a month from now. Assuming the Knicks, kind of come back down to earth and are, 20-plus games below 500. Then at that point, maybe buy Ellington out even and, give all his minutes to Dotson. But I understand, again, because the other thing with Mike Miller, he's got 3 months to prove he's an NBA coach because this is the last chance he'll ever have.
I said this on the show. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you got so the motivation for the head coach is not necessarily in line with the long term, thinking of the franchise, which is kind of a unique situation. But I agree. But again, they're riding a 4-game win streak. They've had some success. In a month from now, if Ellington, in a completely lost season, is still getting time over the Knoxes and the Dotsons of the world, then I have an issue with it. But right now, I can't make too big of a deal of it.
All right.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm a Dot guy. I've been screaming free Dot for the longest, for 3 years, ever since Tim Hardaway Jr. was on the team, and I was scared. I was pissed that Steve Mills gave him $72 million. I was pissed that he was taking That episode, $72 million Hardaway. That was still a classic episode.
Yeah.
I was on the Dot train just because, like you said, he plays offense, he plays defense, and I feel like he has that ability to be that microwave 3-point shooter that we need. Like I feel like he's a guy who can give you a quick 12 without thinking about it, like in his prime,
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
And play defense. So I'm waiting.
Yes, importantly, yep.
I'm waiting for it to free Dot. Cool. So, I think we got through all the questions. Do we have anything?
I don't know. Me personally, I don't really have another question right now.
All right, Miss Black Girl Magic, do you have any questions?
I'm pretty good on my end.
Dope, man. Tommy, Rockstar, man. I'm so happy to finally have you on the show. Man. I respect your work. This is the thing, man, about Tommy. Tommy is a really good follow because one, he gives you all the stats you'll ever need, and on top of that, there's certain people who were kind of cynical, and you have enough cynical people in the world already, and I mean, it's good to have some positivity. What was you about to say, Kathy? You about to?
Did we touch on Kuzma?
We did touch on
Kuzma. Oh yeah.
Okay, we can touch on Kuz. All right, we can harken back if you want to talk about this commie to the Kuzma deal.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm not a huge Kuz guy. I think he's a little bit overrated because he plays for the Lakers. So I wasn't. If you look at his splits, his on-off splits and the advanced analytics on Kuz, they don't do him. They don't do him many favors. I think he's a little bit overrated in the grand scheme of things. So I wasn't upset that the Knicks. I think I probably would have rathered him than a first-round pick, but just because he's a proven commodity on a rookie contract. But I didn't find it, like a make or break. It wasn't. I don't think it's devastating for the Knicks that they didn't get him.
Yeah, my stomach more hurt when it came to the D'Lo situation, only because when I was reading the news and I'm looking at what's happening and I'm seeing, okay, Knicks are offering Frank Ntilikina. First of all, I'm hurt because everybody knows I like Frank.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, Frank the Prince, nah, son, just chill. And then after that, there's offering Bobby Portis, which is cool. But then I'm hearing a first-round pick, and then I'm hearing Kevin Knox, and I'm like, whoa, somebody get Steve Mills away from the controls. That's a little too much. But Kuzma, to me, I can talk myself into, you know, being okay with it only because he's only $5 million. He's like, it was like $5 million.
And to be honest, like from my point of view, like when I was hearing that the Knicks were asking the Lakers for Kuzma and that the Knicks were asking the Clippers for Shaman, I was like, I would rather Shaman on my team than Kuzma.
Oh my gosh!
Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed. Yeah.
I was like, get Shaman. I was definitely about to get Shaman.
Yep.
Oh, another question. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. There's certain players I've heard that the Knicks were really. I heard they wanted to make DSJ happy. I'm not. Did you hear about that? Like they wanted to move DSJ.
I'm surprised he's still with us.
Yeah, I definitely think that they would have traded Smith if the right deal came along, but it just didn't present itself. So I think they'll try to find a taker for him in the offseason. I'd be surprised, to be honest, if he's on the team at the start of next season.
I definitely would too. I guess that's my him and Alonzo Trier too, especially Trier, knowing that Trier really is not in the rotation, and it just seems like there's no way he's gonna get in unless like 5 people get injured. Why wasn't there at least a Trier for a second round pick deal done, knowing that we don't have his rights, right? We don't have his rights. We can't really resign him in the offseason. So a deal like that just.
Yeah, I think one of the things to remember is I forget who tweeted it, but there's a reason why the other teams watch these Knicks struggle just as much as we do. So there's a reason the way teams aren't. Trier's a terrific talented offensive player, but defensively gives a lot of points back. And Smith Jr. just hasn't looked lost this season, so I don't think teams are willing to even take a flyer on him. I think the Knicks would have parted with either one for a second rounder. So yeah, but those deals didn't present itself.
Wow, so Trier wasn't even worth a second rounder even after this. See, I thought they would be like, you know what, the Knicks are just rooting players because DSJ averaged 50 points a game before this season, and now he just looks like a shell of himself. So I figured they might have just assumed the same and just like, I'll take a flyer and give a second.
Yeah, I thought that another team might have done that, but I think he's got a $6 million option for next season, and they guaranteed that money for next season. Yeah. So, and the other thing is the roster spots. Teams really value roster spots, especially in the second half of the season. They can bring up G League guys and kind of funnel through, just get a look at different guys. If you have a player making, and Trier's another guy with guaranteed salary. It's not just, trading a second round pick. That means you have to waive somebody or trade somebody else away.
Got it.
So teams are, tend to be hesitant to do that.
All right. Okay, all right. That makes sense. That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Any more questions, guys?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. I'm hyped. I finally got Tommy on the show. I even actually wanted to ask you last year, but I was like, I'm going to let that breathe a little bit. Let that breathe. And we get Tommy on next season. Thanks a lot, Tommy. I might try to have you on again if something else crazy happens to bring.
No problem. Thanks for having me on. And yeah, be in touch. Best of luck.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks. Take care.
All right. Yeah, we here. We did that.
Yeah.
Ah, man, Tommy, we just had Tommy on the show. Thanks to everybody who's watching that episode. I feel like when we breezed through all when Tommy said everything's such more and more condensed.
You kind of got to let him run. You can't really interrupt him.
Yeah. So that's what you got to do when you have a guest like that. You just got to let him run wild like the dog we are. We kind of broke away from our usual format of interjecting a little as much as we usually do. But, you know what? Let's. There's certain things that we still haven't touched on. That only we can really touch on. And that is the...
RJ, your first preseason in the book.
That's not it.
Okay, so all the controls are mixed up. I don't know what happened. The gunshot's supposed to be there. But I I just want to take the time to enjoy the fact that Steve Mills is no longer on this team.
Yes.
He's gone. I really wanted to celebrate, but I didn't want to wait too long.
Yeah, I feel you.
And just get right into the Tommy discussion. But we all know. How do you feel? Do you have your stats still on you? We all know every year Steve Mills has been here. It's been a losing season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I would have to go back into the archives to try and find those notes. I have stats somewhere on my phone where it's every season he's been with the team, what the Knicks winning loss record was. But I think the most important statistic right now is the fact that since he's been gone, the Knicks are undefeated. So.
So what you're saying, Ryan, is we're making the playoffs.
I don't want to go that far yet, but
you don't want to go back far,
I mean, it's looking nice right now. And then, we got the Hawks. That's winnable game. Then we got the Wizards. Even though the Wizards are kind of hot right now too. I think they said the Wizards won down a 5-game winning streak. So that might be a tough game. But if the Knicks win,
a win by 2 is a win by 2.
A win by 2 is a win by 2. And we've been winning a lot by 2.
Exactly. So I mean, you
just
never know.
By 2.
Like Tommy was saying too, if the Knicks win the next 2 games, and then the Knicks are 4 games behind that 8th spot, you never know. It might happen. I don't know.
Yeah, you might. It might happen.
Might.
We believe, Tommy. We believe. And also, I have to bring up. I didn't want to bring this up in front of company too.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to give the proper goodbye to Marcus Morris.
Yes.
And I wanted to give Miss Black Girl Magic the space to grieve. And I knew this might take a while Tommy was here, but now that he's gone. Miss Black Girl Magic. Your thoughts on Marcus, what he means to you.
We appreciate his 20-plus points per game, per every other game, per, I appreciate what he did for us this season. He was a good vet.
Why you acting shy? What's happening?
Because I'm sad, but I'm happy he went to the Clippers and not the Lakers.
Yeah.
The Lakers were stupid for not trading for him. I would have who was it? They wanted Danny Green. We wanted Danny Green.
You wanted Danny Green
and
with a pick.
Yeah.
With Kuz. I kind of like Scott Perry's gangster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. I wish he kind of kept that same gangster with the Clippers though. He did keep that gangster with the Clippers.
But
you know what?
We did good with the Clippers. We did good with the Clippers deal. We did. Go ahead. I'm sorry. We did.
I'll take the L that we didn't get much from Morris, because if it gives the Clippers more ammo to win, I'm cool with it. As long as y'all win, take him so that we can win. And we, like you guys said, there's still a possibility that he can come back. But I just want the Clippers to win now. You guys have all the assets that you need. Y'all gotta win the chip now.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was a pipe dream for the Lakers to think that they were really gonna win this year. I'm happy for Morris. You know what I'm saying? He's a strong addition to their team. We'll miss him.
I would play the sad music, but I don't know where all the buttons are.
No. I mean, this was inevitable. Yeah. We said it. And I think with Mills leaving, that was definitely it was open season after that. So
now, what was you about to say? What more did you want?
Nah, I'm saying that
he wanted somebody.
Well, first of all,
I mean, it's also what you
want from the Clippers.
Before I go into my explanation, I want to say that Morris, I respect your time when you was here with the Knicks.
Okay.
You were my favorite Knick.
Yo, all this cobbling is cute, but what you want from the Clippers? This is cute.
Wait. Can I finish my grieving moment?
Yo,
you're not grieving. Y'all been said that y'all wanted Morris gone, so he's gone. All this extra stuff y'all doing.
That doesn't mean we didn't like him though.
It's business.
That's what I'm saying. It's just business. That's
right.
all.
It's not personal. So get to the facts. What you want?
Okay.
What you want? Let's get to the meat. Let's get to the meat.
All right. This is why I say the Knicks should have.
What she can say? Never mind.
This is why I say the Knicks should have got more for Morris, because I look at other trades around the league, and the Minnesota Timberwolves, this is an example of an organization that got a GM and president of basketball operations that know how to do work. Because they traded away, because they had a 4-team trade. All they gave away was Covington, who's averaging 13 points a game, shooting like what? Maybe 38% from 3, 43% from the field. They gave away just Covington in a 4-team trade, and they got back 2 young players on reasonable deals, Beasley and Hernan Gomez, the younger brother. They got Evan Turner back, which is an expiring contract, and Houston's first-round pick, just for Covington.
You know what it is too? I'm gonna tell you. This was not Perry's fault. This was Steve Mills' fault again. Even though Steve Mills is out of the organization and he did not make the deal, it was Steve Mills' fault. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, so did you read the reports that Steve Mills and Scott Perry were at odds on how to approach the trade deadline, right?
Yeah.
That was the report. Steve Mills wanted to keep Marcus Morris. I'm sorry.
No, I know. We know.
Perry wanted to move him. Steve Mills wanted D'Lo. And it seemed like he was trying to give heaven and earth to get him. Thank God he didn't. Perry was like, nah, I don't want to do that. So what happened was, I feel like Dolan saw that Mills might have been doing too much. He's like, wait, my dude, didn't you say we're not going to do this again? You're going to give up all these picks, all these young players for D'Lo, who's kind of a proven star? Like, D'Lo is not bringing Golden State to the playoffs, and he's the man now. They're last in the league. Why are you trading all our assets for a guy who's be that good, but they're still dead last in the league? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, that being said, I just kind of feel like the trade started too late. Like, this trade discussion started too late. I think that was the biggest thing. If we had more time to work that trade, then I think maybe we could have worked out another situation where we're getting more young players. And also, I feel like you might have had better deals, subsequent deals in place to move some of the young players we have to make room for the young players like Kabongo Way. I forget that's his name. I'm not, no disrespect, I'm not trying to mess his name up. I really just...
I think it's Kabengele.
Kabengele. Yo, I so butchered his
That
name.
wasn't close. That wasn't close at all.
Whatever, it rhymes. Whatever, it rhymes. Come on, Kabengele. It starts with a K.
You were close enough.
Yeah. Give or take 5 syllables or something. Yeah. So, yeah. I feel like if we had more time, if Steve Mills was fired a week before the deadline,
A week ago.
Exactly about a week ago, that happened. I feel like we'd been in a better place. I feel like we might have had more. I feel like we might have more deals in place. And people like Trier and DSJ and I think some smaller deals would have been made to subsequent the young pieces, because I would kind of like.
Kabengele.
I kind of like Kabengele. Like, he kind of looked like he might have been like an upgraded version of Portis to me.
I mean, not at this point in time, but future, yeah.
Yeah, in future, like he had like a little 3-point shot. It looked like he had the little tag, the little.
I mean, to be
post up moves. Like, he looked alright.
I mean, to be fair, I did like him at Florida State when I watched him there. So yeah.
But I even do kind of like the Ukraine kid, Yusuf.
Oh, yeah, I saw a few of his clips.
Yeah, like, I'm not sure what we're going to do with him.
Yeah.
But I do like that he's a 6'4" guard who can shoot.
Yeah, which is a big plus.
He's athletic. He can dunk. His handles looks okay. He still needs to improve going to his left. That's the scouting report I read. But he also plays defense. You know how I like defensive guards. That's my thing. So, yeah. I think we did. Considering the circumstances, even though the Knicks organization kind of botched it.
Considering the circumstances.
Considering the circumstances, I feel like we did all right.
Yeah.
Considering that Marcus Morris only averaged like 12 points a game last season. And we were able to get a first-round pick, plus a second-round pick from Detroit, who's a high, you know?
I think, too, not offloading too many pieces right now works in our favor, because then it gives us more when at the end of the season, when the draft comes up and we're really looking to make a move for next year, like we have some pieces to ship.
Yeah, because the Knicks, we have to. The Knicks, now that move is made, the Knicks have 7 first-round picks.
Yeah, within the next 4 seasons.
With the next 4 seasons, so clap it up to that. You know what? Let me move into the next subject. Not even subject, just to the calls. Yeah, I didn't even have to remind me. Yes, we're going to get to some calls right now. So first caller is Randy from Jersey. Go ahead, Randy.
Hey, what's up, man? This is Randy from Jersey.
What's up?
I was reaching out because I think, obviously I'm an optimistic Knicks fan. So just bear with me. I think the movement of Marcus Morris for a first-round draft pick, Detroit's second, and that guy's rights, they're assets. I mean, I don't think that, we got 7 first-rounders in the next 4 years. I don't think this team is going to consist of all those players actually playing on the Knicks.
Nope.
I think what could happen, I think we should draft Halliburton this year, coming up with our pick, but then maybe use those other picks to maybe move up and draft some impact players or even trade for a star. I think that's the commonsensical way to build a team. Maybe not even trade for a star, but maybe somebody that could help out and fits into the mold of what this team is. We need shooters around RJ. I don't know if Frank's going to be here, but we need shooters around Frank. We need shooters where Mitch, he's not a shooter. RJ's not really there yet. I mean, he could develop, but I'm happy about the trade deadline. Wish we would have been able to get rid of Portis, but, that's somebody we can move during draft day or sometime next year since he'll be an expiring, assuming we pick up his option. Hopefully we don't, but you never know. He's an asset at the end of the day. All right, guys, take care and go Knicks.
All right,
Randy.
Shout out to Randy.
Yes, sir.
And I agree with Randy that we did well with the trade.
Could have got more.
Randy knows.
Who was there left to get if we wasn't good?
Nah, we should have made the Clippers run their pockets. Sham it.
Oh, do you want to beat the Lakers?
How bad?
How bad do you want to beat LeBron?
Exactly. Just like how Scott Perry was talking spicy to the Lakers. Okay, you want Marcus Morris?
Give us Shamet!
You give us Kuz. You give us Danny Green. So that's 2 pieces off your team right there for Marcus Morris. Who's going to give you 20? So how bad do you want to win a championship?
Exactly.
But they said too. I heard Stephen A. or somebody saying that Dolan was suing somebody from the Lakers organization.
Really?
Like there was already some.
Oh, about I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I heard somebody even say that. Like, hey, do you think that Dolan isn't going to trade to the Lakers because he's petty?
Yeah.
That he's suing somebody for it's not even for basketball.
Right.
It's like real estate beef.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really because Dolan's into real estate and
Yeah.
somebody was buying some real estate in California and he kind of joined some group to say it's not ethical to buy up this land and
Right.
yeah. So I was like, no, it's not. Best deal coming, you want to take that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said so. It won't matter.
True that.
The interesting thing is that they didn't push harder for Marcus, seeing as the pieces that the Lakers took to build their team. They took Dwight. They kept Rondo. They got what's the dude from the Warriors whose hair is really weird right now?
You talking about Quinn Cook?
Not him.
I don't know. The dude from the Warriors.
That's the only dude I can think about. And he got a kind of a wild fro.
He got braids. He wears a headband.
Oh wait, braids and headband. I'm trying to think, who is that? JaVale McGee?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Him. Weird hairdo right now. But
Yeah.
nonetheless. But he came on. So it's interesting that they didn't really make a hard push for Morris because
They needed more. Definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but LeBron really likes seasoned players. He likes his bench really seasoned. So it's interesting that he didn't fight for that. But then at the same time too, I feel like he knows that y'all ain't winning.
No.
Y'all ain't winning.
He ain't winning. And it's fine.
And Morris fits with the Clippers anyway. his style.
Yeah, because the Clippers got dogs on that team, and Marcus Morris is a dog too.
Yeah,
so it's like,
that's gonna fit
right
tough
in.
out, boy. Woo.
Yeah.
Woo. Shout out to Morris, man. Hopefully you make it.
But I'd have been okay with Bobby leaving too.
Who?
If Bobby got traded.
Yeah, I would have been fine with that too.
Yeah.
Yo, where's the gunshots? I'd
have been okay with a Bobby trade.
Oh my gosh, Edson, you don't even know what you did to this show.
Because honestly, I don't feel like Bobby's going to give us anything more this season. And as much as y'all want to keep giving Knox more minutes, I don't think we're getting anything else out of him.
Knox?
Yeah. You give him 14 minutes, he going to give us the same 8 points. You give him 27 minutes, he going to give us the same 8 points.
Yo, so for me right now, I don't even care. I mean, I would love points because he's projected to be a shooter. But at this point, I just want you to be competent.
Yeah.
Like, that's all. I just want you to be competent. Like,
I want him to not wait around on offense. Like, I understand his defense is bad, and that's just what it's going to be. But, like, even on offense, like, he gives the same intensity. Like, he's just waiting around.
Yeah, he's kind of stuck in the corner. And that could be the scheme as well. But I was encouraged by the last game where he got a block.
Yeah.
He had a good moment where he played really good one-on-one defense. I was encouraged. I saw some signs of a heartbeat from Knox. But, you expect young guys to have that and then go down. But, go up and down as far as development. But I need more up. I need a lot more up.
Yeah.
It seems like he's stagnant a little bit.
Yeah, way more consistency. He's not very consistent at the moment. Especially on the defensive end, he needs to play with that same intensity more often in games rather than just, some games he takes days off and then other games is like, yeah, okay, I'm engaged, today.
Yeah, exactly.
But a Wayne and a Bobby taking days off and giving certain...
That's the thing. Wayne doesn't take days off. Wayne actually works really hard. He just misses shots.
Yeah, he's just not playing good.
He just misses shots. Bobby,
okay, but in terms of inconsistencies, in terms of their inconsistencies versus rookie inconsistencies.
Right, yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
And speaking of Bobby Portis, that Magic game, I wanted to take him out the damn game. because there was this incident in the game, I forgot where, but I remember the Knicks were trying to fight back in that game, right? Because the Magic had him down by I think 7 points, whatever the case may be. This dude ran up the court and takes a contested 3-point shot early in the shot clock. And I was like, yo,
what are you doing?
I was like, yo, if I was Mike Miller, I would have been like, timeout.
Yo, leave the arena, not even the bench.
Run your fade. Run your fade. Yo, get up.
Get up. Come here. We don't. Hey,
Come here real quick.
Hey, Frank, you playing power forward. We don't need this. Mess. All right.
Yeah.
All right, next caller.
You know what it is? You need to create fake beef for Bobby every other game.
Oh,
you need to do that. You need to gas him and be like, yo, you heard what they said about your mom? You saw what they tweeted? You gotta create a fake burner account so that he could get spicy so that he could play really well.
You need to put the pictures of that who's the Chicago's guy who he punched in the face? We need Mirror Tick. You need to pick pictures of Mirror Tick all over his mirrors.
Yeah.
You gotta Space Jam him.
You gotta Space Jam him. Sauce.
Yeah.
All right, so you know what? Let's get into these calls now.
Hi Jay, it's yours truly, Ken T from Miami.
It's good, 10.
Ken T.
Our guy.
I am very pleased with the haul we got for Morris. The only thing is I wish they would have started shopping him a little bit earlier. But obviously getting more than a number one pick
like I said,
was huge. I like getting that second-round pick from Detroit.
Should have got more.
The other thing is it would have been great if we could have moved a couple of the other vets that we don't see on the team, be on the team next year. But there's still time to move them in the off season. So all in all, I'm pretty pleased, and like you say, for once, the Knicks actually want to trade. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, I know there was rumors that were going around saying, too, that the Knicks were trying to save some of their assets moving the offseason for a bigger move, and that's another reason why they didn't. I don't know which one I believe. I don't know if I believe that completely, but maybe
I do. I do. It makes sense.
Yeah, keep some of these cheap assets.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We gotta ride it out to the end of the season at least. We need somebody to play.
Definitely. And definitely check out the last article that Ken wrote. He's a writer for the Naked Time show. Really good article on Leon Rose. Talks about why we should steer away from being an agent, from hiring an agent as a GM. Even gets into why Bob Myers, who's like a successful agent for the Golden State Warriors, why he's a special case, you know, and not just he's an exception to the rule and not the rule.
Okay.
You know, he's bright, he's good with analytics, and he actually had help and the mentors to help him, you know, get to the next level. But definitely check out that article. Ken's a talented dude, very good writer.
Yes, sir.
Definitely check that guy out. And the article's on thenickatimeshow.com.
Yes.
For your Nick needs. Alrighty then, next caller.
Hey, Nick and Time fans. This is Abdul.
What up?
From San Diego, big time Knicks fan.
Cali.
I just want to say that trading Mook was necessary because there is no guarantee if he'll come back next season. We got a first-round pick on a player on a one-year rental.
Kathy want to hit me, yo.
Second point, why would we trade for D'Angelo Russell on a max contract when we can get Ball in the draft on a rookie contract?
Boom!
Also, feels good that Steve Mills is no longer here. We're making common sense decisions.
Hey.
Love it.
Love it. Shout out to common sense.
Yes. I just want to be clear. Did you say draft Ball?
He did say draft Ball. Ryan wants to clap for drafting Ball.
Who's projected to go before our pick.
I like Halliburton. Halliburton.
No. Like if we end up with Halliburton, I'm still good. You know. Yeah. It's just that my top guy right now is LaMelo Ball. I want to see Ball in New York.
Yeah, yo, and you know what? Spencer's gonna be here for one of these episodes too. Like I don't know if he's gonna call in or be here. Probably gonna call in. I want somebody to be here though. But anyway, still, he's gonna be here for one of these episodes. He's a draft guy. He's a guy who's worked with NBA teams before and knows what goes into it. So he's gonna be telling us who's what. And I really want to pick his brain to see, like, is the draft as bad as everybody says it is? Because I'm getting the talk from the league is that this draft isn't strong. So anybody after like 2 or 3 is weak. And I want to see what he has to say about it. Get into that notion. But
so wait, hold up. So if people are saying that this upcoming draft is weak, then who are the like the top guys that everybody's saying, like, if you get one of these guys, then you're good?
What I'm hearing is Anthony Edwards is at a tier.
Yeah.
And even though he's the top guy, it's still not the same top as previous tops.
Okay.
And then everybody else is a solid player.
All right.
Why are you giggling? Did I have to say pause? Well, so yeah, that's what I heard from Spencer anyway. Background might have smiled too much. I'm getting paranoid. Why are you so happy? Came in with hair like mine, and she happy now. You see how that works? You see?
Yeah.
Lock life. Anyway.
Yeah, I like her hairstyle. It's fly. Yeah.
Thanks, y'all.
Yeah.
Join us, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm just.
Join us.
I mean, I can because my hair is growing, but I don't know if I want to get locks. So I don't know. No.
Come to the side. Hey, yo. All right, cool. You know what? We're going to move into the player of the week. Last week's player of the week was Dotson. We actually didn't really get into it that much. But this week's player of the week is who?
Elfrid Payton.
Elfrid Payton, man.
The G.
Elfrid Payton. Shout out to Elfrid Payton, who's the player of the week. He's the reason why the Knicks are still winning, even though Marcus Morris is now gone. Damn near had a triple-double.
Yes, he did. Well, he had a triple-double. He had it. Yeah, he had an actual triple-double. Yeah.
I'm sorry. He had a good day. Woke up one day, had a triple-double.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Read us some stats on Elfrid Payton, man. What did he do this week to these people?
Yeah. Well, first of all, the triple-double he had this week was 17 points, 15 assists, and 11 rebounds.
Hey.
And for the week, he's averaging 14 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds per game.
That's crazy. That's my guard. That's my point guard right there.
Yes, and he's shooting 46% from the field too for this week.
Yo, the thing about Elfrid Payton too is he bless his heart, he still can't shoot a 3. But the thing about Elfrid Payton is he's getting to the hole with so much I'm gonna use a rhyme word, fervor. Right? But he's not just getting to the hole. I feel like before this week anyway, he would get to the hole, but he wouldn't really finish. He would just kind of fling the ball up there and it wouldn't really connect. But now, every time he gets to the hole, it actually goes in, and he seems like he's just finding his teammates in perfect situations.
You got to play for his guy.
And not only that, he's bullying these cats. He played Orlando Magic and had 7 steals. My guy should have had 8 steals, but they robbed him.
Yeah, they took away one.
They took away one for some good reason.
He's playing for his man.
He's playing, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Elvin Payton. Elvin Payton cut his ocean spray hair. Right?
Yeah.
Things started to change for him then. And then when he threw homeboy from the Grizzlies on the floor, I feel like that supercharged him.
Yeah.
And now he's like,
yeah, and then on top of that, he's the only point guard brave enough to tell Julius Randle no.
No.
I mean,
get an ooh for that.
On that alone, he deserves a Player of the Week.
Oh, yeah. That alone, telling Julius Randle no means Player of the Year. That's MVP. Yeah, LP's MVP. That's all I have to say. That's really all I have to say.
Word.
All right, now it's time for one of the favorite parts of the show.
Hey, and we're up by 9.
Yeah, that winning streak's coming.
Yeah, 5-game win streak.
Yeah. Oh. Up by 9 versus Atlanta.
Update.
But yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're up by 9. Sorry.
It's favorite segment of the show, the Ooh Picks. If you do not know, Ooh Picks are the best plays of the week, the favorite plays of the week. And they have to be Nick related. Have to be.
Yep.
So, anybody out there, do we have any Ooh Picks?
I'm searching.
Everybody's searching for Ooh Picks.
I'm not.
You not searching?
Out of respect for Morris this week.
Oh,
really?
Really?
Oh,
you get a broadcast.
Yeah.
This is what you should have did. Let me show you how you should have handled it. As someone who respects Morris. Because obviously you have a fake respect for Morris. I have real respect. I'm going to tell you why.
Fake respect.
Yeah.
You would have thought.
Let me tell you my Ooh Pick. My Ooh Pick is Knicks versus Cavs.
Stop.
Game in the balance.
Nah, he had a good game.
He had a good game. Such a good game.
Y'all let him go.
Marcus Morris turned.
So good. Y'all still traded him.
Yeah, we did, sure.
Nah, I ain't giving no Ooh Picks while he was still on the Knicks.
Nah, we giving them. Listen.
Little fake
His
ooh.
last.
Little fake ooh.
Don't hate. His last testament to us.
Thank you, Double M.
3? Was it 3? 3 clutch mid-range buckets in a row to beat the Cavs.
Thank you, Double M. We appreciate you, King.
Giving us that win and setting us up for our win streak.
Is this your ooh for you or for me?
No, it's not for you. It's for Morris. What you claim you love.
Wait.
Oh, man.
Wait a minute now.
But they want to give him no ooh.
Nah, I'm not giving no oohs at all.
Yo.
I'm not giving no Nick oohs. I hope we win though.
Should have gave it to. Oh, should give him at least a memorial ooh.
I did, man. The Knicks posted him. I reposted.
Repost. That's not what I wanted. Need a memorial ooh, yo.
Mm-mm.
All right, so I have one Ooh pick since I had to look it up last minute. So, because I mean, like the Knicks are on a 4-game winning streak right now, so I feel like I should have at least 2 Ooh picks, but I only got 1.
Okay.
So this is the Pistons game. Mm-hmm. So the score was 72-70. The Pistons had a 2-point lead.
Mm-hmm.
And their rookie forward, who is Frank Ntilikina's teammate on the French team, Doumbia, he had the ball at the top of the key, dribbled inside the lane. Little did he know, there was Kevin Knox lurking in the background from the weak side.
Oh yeah,
Doumbia went up for the layup. Knox rejected it.
Rejected. I don't have the button. Right?
Yeah,
the buttons are messed up. I was going to say it.
Yeah, but it was overly impressive because Knox don't really play defense like that. So when you see Knox gets a block shot, he deserves the ooh.
You gotta give it to him.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that to you. I meant to do that. Exactly. That's right.
Yes.
Yo, shout out to Knox playing defense, man. Yeah, it sounds like a diss so bad.
Nah,
sounds like a diss.
Knox reminds me of me when I play defense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
when you feel like it?
Yeah, like I play defense when I feel like it. You know, I'll take plays off, and then you know when it's on the line, then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna step up and I'm a defend right now.
Games, man.
You know what?
Ain't that what Damian was crying about? That's how they lost their game.
Oh yeah, that's one of my bro picks too.
All right, let's wait.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm gonna also give another ooh pick to another guy who plays defense that you don't expect to play defense. DSJ.
Oh yeah, Dan Smith. Oh. Yeah.
DSJ sighting. DSJ finally has a heartbeat, and there was a game where he actually played well. He had 2 steals, and then he was playing one-on-one defense and had a block.
Okay.
It was the Magic game, right? It was during the Magic?
Yeah. Now you see Dennis Smith Jr., he's a great representation of how I play defense. He's a great representation of how I play defense, all right?
Oh, my God. We supposed to have a KOT. When is the KOT game happening?
I need some time. I went to the NBA office and I shot around a little and it was super flat, so I need some time.
All right, your boy's been in the gym every week, so
okay. That's why you ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I need to get some
flat. I'm flat right now.
With Ryan's bad defense. Here we go.
I got a few shots up and I was like, oh no.
I need to get some jumpers off. Yeah.
Or Scorpio versus Leo game. I don't even think that's happening. Whatever.
It's gonna happen. It's February. It is February.
3 years.
Can we get some time in some warm weather?
Whatever. We'll see.
That's because he been in the gym shooting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I need to get jumpers.
And who invites y'all to everything? And no one ever comes support. Never mind. I got triggered. I'm sorry. Next ooh pick. Next ooh pick goes to. This is a group ooh. Actually, this is like one of the best favorite plays from the Orlando game.
Hey.
All right.
I don't remember who was driving to the hole, but the pick starts off with, I think, is this DSJ? The DSJ. DSJ block, actually.
Okay.
Let me get this right. All right, so DSJ, I believe, blocks the ball, runs up the court, sees Mitchell Robinson streaming down the middle. DSJ throws a lot down there from half court. Mitch Robinson catches it for the easy slam.
Oh.
That's my pick.
Mitch.
There you go.
Money making.
Money, make it Mitch.
All right, cool. Now, it's time for the...
Oh, wait. One more ooh pick.
Oh, okay. Do that.
I forgot the Pistons game because Mitch had like 4 blocks.
Oh, wait, you know what? I'm sorry, I messed that up. Ooh pick up too. Randall blocked the ball.
Oh, okay.
Randall blocked the ball. DSJ caught it. Fast break. Throws it to Mitch for the goal. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I just want to shout out Mitch because in that Pistons game, he had like 4 blocks. So, yeah. Mitch.
Money, make it Mitch.
Shout out to you, Mitch.
Yes.
All right. Now it is time for the bro picks. Bro picks, for you who don't know, are the worst plays of the week. The things that make you go, what the hell happened here? And the bro picks don't have to be
things make you go
related. They could be anything. They could be life related. There's some bro worthy stuff that happened this week.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gail.
January and February have been bro worthy.
Oh my gosh, what's bro pick for January?
Yeah.
Bruh. That was a rough month.
That was a year,
terrible,
month.
Yeah.
Month, year.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Bro picks. I feel like the camera woman has a bro pick too. She said, the way I don't hear it, but she was like,
Yeah, we glad we made it.
Yeah, we here though. Bro picks for you guys.
My bro pick, and it's short, goes to Gail.
Yeah.
Gail, you get a bruh. I'm not gonna drag you because the internets did. And, they might have went a little too hard. They were a little too harsh on you. But you deserve to get read because you knew what you were doing. You knew what the CBS knew what they were doing. They get brought as well because they knew that they were trying to. She knew she was going to ask a question that was going to stir up a response that was going to get trended on the medias and on the internets, and that's what you guys were looking for. You just didn't expect the response that you got back. So now everybody's trying to backpedal and double back, and that's corny. And it'd be better for you to just stand in your truth and be like, it was an ill it was poor timing.
Yes.
And you know what I'm saying? Rather than, oh, I didn't know. You knew?
Yeah, it was.
It was a 5-minute interview. You knew.
You
2
definitely
minutes.
knew.
You tried to drag that man.
It was poor timing. It was insensitive. And
it's
like,
insensitive, man.
Just accuse
and
somebody.
it's corny.
Yeah,
but even beyond that, it's just super corny to just like to have that be the moment, opposed to you just speaking to his friend about him. You know what I'm saying? To find that little piece, that's corny, man. You didn't even have to bring it up at all. It could have just been like Lisa Leslie talking about Kobe, and that would have been fine enough.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We haven't heard from Lisa Leslie in years. It was dope to see her. She's doing fairly well. You know, considering everything that's happening. Like
coaching the Big Three.
Yeah. That was enough, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it could have been any one of those things, opposed to it being that. So I think that was corny. You know, and then Oprah gave her the cosign on the corniness too. So the both of them get bras, man.
Yeah, she had bruh.
Yeah, man. And then, you know, Snoop, we just gotta watch our language, man.
Yeah.
and I'm going to step in here.
Yeah.
As the black man here. I'm giving Snoop the bruh as the black man. I'm sorry.
Bruh.
Because even though he was justified in what he said, he still
sometimes it's how you say it, man.
It is ultimately how you say it. Like, you
man.
can't be calling women bitches in 2020. You can't. That's not.
And dogs still.
We can't call them bitches. We can't call them dogs.
And we know the wig wasn't great. We know what it looked like.
We have to get away from associating women with weak.
Yeah.
That's like, we have to kind of move away from that narrative in the future, and was kind of just evolve. And this man and black man, you gotta be leaders. You can't.
Yeah, man.
You be like, I know you in
we
hip hop.
all hurt.
Yeah, we need to heal from that, man. Hip hop has been great for everybody, for the black community. It's brought us a lot of money. But with that,
hip hop is just misogynistic in general, though.
Exactly. Yeah. It is.
He sounded like 90s Snoop too. That's what it was.
That's what I'm trying. That's what it was.
Snoop didn't sound like new Snoop. He sounded like 90s Snoop.
They're
like
still in there, but you gotta evolve, man. Evolve.
Yeah, you can't really be calling out an older lady like that, saying that we know where you stand, that we're gonna come and get you. Like, yeah, you can't really be doing that.
Yeah, man.
But she was corny for that. Man.
No, she was definitely corny.
She was corny for that.
Definitely corny.
That was super corny.
All right, that's my. You gotta. I want to say, bruh, for the Knicks waiting too long to fire Steve Mills.
Bruh, that counts.
Fired him a week earlier.
That counts.
And it was rumored that Steve Stout had to do something to do with it as well. So I'm kind of happy that Steve Stout pushed that envelope, but I'm also kind of looking at him in the side eye for trying to have Leon Rose here.
Real quick, I heard you guys saying that y'all didn't want Steve Stout to turn MSG black. I mean, y'all didn't say that, but that was more so my hot take from what I heard. Y'all didn't want it to be like super festive, like how the Nets, how he revamped.
Oh, like you mean like color black? Not
No, not color black. Like you guys were saying that you didn't want him to do like a lot of like, you didn't want too much hip hop.
It's not that. I just don't want it to be like an exact replica of the Nets.
Right.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
My hot take has a nice spin to it.
Yeah. We don't want to bite somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what we meant.
Original. Is not the cultural part.
Black in general is original though.
Obviously, like we can do our own thing, but with our own flair. But I don't want to bite somebody else.
Exactly.
Like if we come out with graffiti jerseys, I'm like. You bite.
I really hope they don't stray too far from like, because the Knicks logo is like a staple. Like I hope they don't revamp too much that has us looking like them old. No disrespect, old rappers trying to be young still.
Oh my god! There's no respect when you disrespect. I get it. Oldest trick in the book.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they don't do that too much.
Like one of the things that Michael Blackson always says, like, no, with all due respect, like, so I forgot, but he says like, no disrespect, but all due respect, I have no respect, something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you're saying like when the dudes still wear the baggy pants.
Yeah, we gonna look like MJ in 2020.
Oh, damn.
Where's the gunshots? Where's the gunshots?
Oh, man.
Knowing good and well you don't care nothing about a Taylor.
Taylor 2020.
Oh, man.
You have the dad pants on with the ones.
Oh, man. The dad pants
with the ones.
It's all good, Jordan. You're still the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
But dressing, he needs help there, all right?
Yeah.
Jordan fits.
Do you like those ones that are coming out for All-Star Weekend? The two-tone women's ones?
Oh, you talking about you in North Carolina, Chicago? Like one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I seen those.
You like them?
They're all right to me. I mean, I wouldn't be like in a line to go get them, but like they all right.
We're gonna have a sneaker show.
Yeah.
I think we have
a lot of shoes are dropping this week for All-Star Weekend. I think they pulled the Kobe's.
Yeah, I like the Kyries that's dropping, or the red and gold joints. Those are fire.
Yo, next show we're gonna have our own sneaker show, yo. I just think maybe in a segment, maybe it should be a show. But go ahead.
It depends on this one because she mad busy.
Yeah. Famous.
Yeah.
I'm that. Next, bro.
Oh yeah, we waiting on you.
Bro. Okay.
My bad. I thought, but I was looking at you. You would know.
Oh, my fault. Okay.
That Scorpio didn't translate over
there. He was looking down.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I got a good amount of bro picks.
Okay.
First bro pick goes to Rudy Gobert and Joe Ingles on the Utah Jazz. So they were facing the Rockets, and Ingles was guarding Gordon on the wing. So Gordon was driving to the basket, and Joe Ingles put on his best flopping performance.
Oh, man.
Went up like this and was like, ref ain't called nothing. So Gordon went to the basket. He was under the basket now, and he did like one little like move where he like, brought the ball over. And Gobert was like, and fell to the floor like he got hit.
Damn, bruh. Doing the Jay Crowder.
So basically, both players flopped on the same play, and the ref ain't called neither one. And Gordon had an easy basket.
That is hilarious.
That's a good one. I hope a certain someone flopping someone's on your list.
Oh man, the flop off is fun. Remember when like CP and who was the flop off? CP and my dude from the Rockets.
CP's a horrible flopper.
Oh yeah. Oh, Harden.
CP and Harden, when they was facing each other one time, both of them like flopped at the same time. And the ref was just like,
Next bro pick goes to my Scorpio brethren, Russell Westbrook.
No, brother.
So he had the ball against the Jazz, and I don't know, as his teammate must have zigzagged, or his teammate zigged when he thought he would zag, and he was trying to pass the ball to him, but then like he got mixed up and instead he threw the ball in the backcourt.
Oh.
And then he was looking at his team, and he was like, "What the hell are you doing?" So it's like not only did you throw the ball in the backcourt, but you was blaming your teammate.
Damn.
For throwing the ball in the backcourt. Yeah.
Bruh. Damn.
Next bro goes to, I don't know if this is gonna go to one person or it's gonna be a group of people, but it's basically the Grizzlies and Iguodala beef. There's a lot of bros to go around.
Yo, I actually like it. I respect it.
So first you had I think his name is Dylan. I think his name is Dylan Brooks. I think.
Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, on the Grizzlies, and he was talking spicy about Iguodala.
I loved it.
Basically,
thing one and thing two.
Huh?
Thing one and thing two.
I loved it.
Yeah, and he was talking spicy about Iguodala, saying that we waited for him to get traded because when we face him, we're gonna show him what Grizzlies basketball is about. Talking mad spicy, and then John Morant backs him up, and he's like, with the shouting emoji.
They dumb.
No, they're not. They young bulls, and they going after it.
And oftentimes what vets do show you is that I'm still that guy. I'm still who they say I am.
But they coming though.
They come in, in a few years they will be that guy. But for right now, Andre is still Andre. Put some respect on that man's name, and they should have.
Nah, all disrespect.
And then
y'all be giving y'all rookies too much, man.
Now when they nice.
Yeah, they're nice. Nobody's
John
taking
Morant
it.
nice.
John Morant's nice, and the Grizzlies are good, but they could be better.
Yeah, but because no, keep going. And
then Steph Curry felt like he needed to chime in.
That's right, Steph.
And posted a picture of Iguodala and then John Morant responded.
Never forget.
With a Durant picture talking about basically saying, yeah, y'all got no championship because of Durant.
That was hilarious, yo. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know that was a bro pick. That was hilarious to me. Man.
Yeah, but to me, ultimately, it's misplaced energy. Just like I said with Elfrid Payton the other day, misplaced energy because, again, the reason why Iguodala didn't play for the Grizzlies was because everybody knew he was trying to go to a contender, and the Grizzlies were basically icing him. So it's like, how you expect dude to play if he's being iced and they're just waiting for an opportunity to trade him anyway? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, So it's like the things that Brooks said, it's misplaced. It's misplaced energy.
Didn't Iguodala did not want to play for the Memphis Grizzlies?
Well, he wanted to go to a contender, but it's not like if the Grizzlies were like, yeah, we're going to try to trade you, but you need to play for us. It's not like Iguodala would have been like, no. You know what I'm saying? They basically iced him. So it's like, what you expect Mans to do?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yep.
I still like the spiciness.
4th broad pick goes to the refs in the Portland and the Portland and Jazz game. Damian Lillard, a guy that I wish was a Knick. I love this dude's game so much. He basically drove to the basket. It was late in the game. I think the Trailblazers were down by 2. He went to the basket, went up for the layup, hit off the backboard. Gobert then blocks the shot, and the refs didn't call no goaltending.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Bruh. I definitely saw. Oh man, he was tight too.
Yeah,
he was super tight. Yeah, that was deserved. That was definitely deserved, man. I'm sorry. I don't even think he got fined because he definitely went off in the media about
Yes,
it.
he did.
He got fined?
He ain't get fined.
Okay, I don't think he got fined. I actually think they let him go, which is crazy.
Yeah, because on social media, like after the NBA, the referees they came out and said that they missed the call. He was like, "Don't nobody want to hear that punk ass."
That was ooze big for me. I'm sorry. I know there's no ooze for other people, but that was gangster. I loved it, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And that's it?
No, I have one more, bud.
Okay.
And my last bro goes to...
Let's just start now.
All right.
Okay. And so, go ahead.
All right, so I have one more bro pick.
Okay.
And it goes to Drake.
Drake?
Yes, because I don't know if y'all saw the video, but
Drake in the Hood?
Yeah,
he's at the block. I saw that. Yeah.
Apparently,
he's in Brooklyn. Yeah.
Apparently, he's making a new music video for one of his songs coming out, and your guy was up in Marcy Projects, and you look kind of nervous.
I would be nervous too.
He was there like rapping in front of the cameras. Every time he's like looking back, like, what you looking back for?
You know the vibes.
You know exactly.
He knows the vibes.
You know why you're looking back, and you look forward too, and then look back again.
Yeah, but the thing is that like this ain't Marcy from like 90s. This ain't 90s Marcy no more.
It's still Marcy nonetheless. Certain neighborhoods are still gonna be certain neighborhoods. Marcy's still gonna be Marcy. Brownsville's still gonna be Brownsville.
Yeah,
Brownsville. Bronx is still gonna be the Bronx. Like it don't matter how. When keeping it real goes wrong, he knows that if something were to happen to him, he's going to be a viral moment. So he better look back. He better look forward. He better look backwards. He better look up. Like, you're
I know
Drake.
You got money.
I know you by one. You have one name. We don't even call you Aubrey.
Wheelchair Jimmy.
No, your name is Drake. You better check your surroundings. But that's how you know he's real. Like anywhere you go, I mean, he still gets a bra. But nonetheless. Anywhere you go, if you a little out of place, you're going to look around. I respect it. Still get a bra, but I respect it.
Bruh.
I respect it. I'm surprised you didn't give Zion a bra.
What Zion do?
I don't remember what game he played, but he had, he caught I think it was a block. Somebody blocked him, and then he tried to flop after. They gave him the foul, though, but it was like, bruh, this wasn't good. You got to get, clearly you're not used to the other side of the block. So you don't know how to fake it.
Yeah. Wait, what was it? Wait, was that when Greek Freak blocked him?
That one was nasty.
Oh yeah.
That was a nasty block.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah, that was man-on-man violence.
Yeah. All right. And that's all the bros.
Cool. That was our show, man. We out, man. We out here. We got Tommy Beer on the show. We talking to the Knicks talk. A lot of stuff happened. I'm glad it's out of our system. I have some guests in mind. Hopefully, they're able to come through for these next few weeks when it's getting a little bit slow with the news and the games. So definitely check that out. Definitely, if you've not subscribed to the Nick of Time Show or to youtube.com/Nick of Time Show,
do that.
Are you dumb? Like, chill.
Yeah.
Get on that. ASAP Rocky. Like, please.
Word.
Definitely listen there. And also listen to on Dash Radio as well. Shout out to Dash Radio. Nothing on the next channel. Also, listen to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and iHeart as well. Also, be going to another platform very, very soon.
Yay.
Trying to make some moves out here. And, also, that's it. Buy the merch.
Follow, like, subscribe, share.
Yeah, all that.
Comment.
All that.
Yes, everything.
Everything. And yeah, you can follow me on Instagram too. You can find me at J.Ellis Draw Things on J.Ellis Draw Things on Instagram. That's J.E.L.L.I.S. Draw Things if you want to see some artwork. I haven't been posting that much in my life, I'm not gonna lie. But definitely follow me if you want to. Where can they find you guys? Kathy?
_ Kathy Steele, KATHYSTEELE. I'm out here.
She out here in the streets. She's famous. Blue check coming soon.
Yes.
Hi.
Huh?
Aye.
Very true. Always out here in these streets.
I'm in these streets.
In these streets and in these Bahamas and vacation photos
Miami. Yeah.
No, that was work.
Yellow
I'm working this year, man.
We're working.
We working, man.
That blue check.
Yeah.
Where can we find you?
Sir G is chilling.
Sir G is chilling.
That's SIR, G is CHILLIN. And like I said on the previous episode, I have a project coming. I'm writing a novel, a story.
I think you're smart, son.
Yeah. Like I said, I had the characters down pat last week. This week I got the storyline, the actual storyline in place. So this upcoming week is going to be the writing part of it, where I try to, start to piece things together and have chapters and break it down and things like that. Nice. So be on the lookout for that.
All right. That's what's up, man. Shout out to you. Definitely got to support my brother. And you know what? That is our show, man. We out of here.
Peace.
Peace and love out to where you from, but all about the